Says Sarah. Says Schroeder 9. I'm a server hop. Says my time 1. Okay. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. That was. Says my time 1. Okay. Miracle. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. Weird. Says Paid Land 4664 when I own WWNT to play Bed Wars together. Axolotl Cinema has come online. Says Deanman 22 Schrader, why didn't I ask her to be my Valentine? Myth 2000. Says Paid Land 4664 me. Says my time 1. Wyatt server hopped. Says Deanman 22 my where are you? Says Random Orca 1808. Says Low 6199 well you can't have one. Says my time 1. I'm gonna go with Wyatt by Dean. Says Paid Land 4664 OMWN. Says Myth 2017. We doing YTK? Says Deanman 22 Says Deanman 22 okay. Says Formed Baker 8150. And today IARP movie night. Says Deanman 22 by E. Says Myth 2017. Says Deanman 22 have a nice rest of your day. Says Formed Baker 8150. And everyone subscribe my channel on YouTube. Says Paid Land 4664 bro anyone WQNT to be my friend. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. Goes to Castle. Says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus. Puts mask on. Says Myth 2017. We doing YTK? Says Madab 3058 anyone wanna sumo? Says Formed Baker 8150. Comment, like, and share. Says Shadow Cloud 2000. Says Random. Says Myth 2017. And subscribe. Says Zimen. Lehis Majoris Al Mundo. Says TKM Sprint 116. Kuales Majoris. Says Random Orca 1808. Subscribe y'all. Says Zimen. Eunice. Says Zimen. Lemedi Adams. Says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus. Sees Shadow and walks off. Says TKM Sprint 116. Adams Pa Koger. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. Says Zimen. Sis. Says TKM Sprint 116. Jajajajaj. Says Zimen. Jaj. Says Zimen. NTC. Says Low 6199 what game should we play? Says Paid Land 4664 let's play your fav game. Says TKM Sprint 116. No me imagino eso. Says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus. Takes mask off. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. See she dropped a book so I come to return it. Says Myth 2017. Play a game. Says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus. Eyes closed and jumps. Says Shadow Cloud. Says Random Orca 1808. Gasp. Says Myth 2017. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. Didn't get your store purchase? Try Fixper case. Says Confeticum. Sarah can I join in RP? Says Myth 2000. Says Form. says Amarora 67 she is constipated, says Myth 2017, you, yeah, says Shadow Cloud 2321, you, flies down, says Confeticum, you, says Myth 2017, you, okay, says Sarah 24 Berry, plus, lays wing broken and blood comes out my head, says Shadow Cloud 2321, you, says Shadow Cloud 2321, you, says Myth 2017, you, says Amarora 67 she had diarrhea, says Random Orca 1808, you, says Confeticum, you, Sarah, says Shadow Cloud 2321, you, grabs healing remedies, says TKM Sprint 116, you, 2 Mamasabi Q, says Simmons, you, IDK, says Random Orca 1808, you, it's day so, says Eclipse E, you, Hide Wid. Says TKM Sprint 116, you, IDK Disha, says Shadow Cloud 2321, you, come on? Says TKM Sprint 116, you, PQ Sino Te Quitten Toto, says Sarah 24 Berry, plus, breaths, says Random Orca 1808, you, Rainlure still here, says Simmons, you, AJJAJAESO. Says Myth 2017, you, comma are we playing a game, V, says Dwight 2000. Says Random Orca 1808, you, OMG lit, says Simmons, you, why no Tengo la ad, says Sarah 24 Bear. Says TKM Sprint 116, you, Q ad, says Shat. Says Shadow Cloud 2321, you, don't do that again. QWERTYboard 4824 has come online. Says Myth 2017, you, friend me Axolotl. Says Axolotl Cinema OK, says Shadow Cloud 2321, you, walks off a storms on. Says Sarah 24 Berry, plus, Shadow felt a small part of the bond crack. Says Shadow Cloud 2321, you, says Eclipse E, you, TT what? Says Confeticum, you, Sarah PLZ join? Says Sarah 24 Berry, plus, sure, Legend of LNK has gone offline, says Confeticum, you, me, says Random Orca 1808, you, IGTG, says Confeticum, you, Ty, comma need help? Go to supportplayhive.com, says Eclipse E, you, Hi Cooker, says Confeticum, you, what am I, says Krazikid Alt 9984 Fafage Foxage, says Cooker Snow 42676, you, hi, says Axolotl Cinema where are you, says Sarah 24 Berry, plus, up to you, says Krazikid Alt 9984 FNAF, says Krazikid Alt 9984 Autodox, says Hortense Lotus 14, you, says Eclipse E, you, my dad is watching AOT, says Cooker Snow 42676, you, ooh, says Confeticum, you, WHZT story is dis, says Sarah 24 Berry, plus, thinks about jumping again, says Shadow Cloud 2321, you, my mind, she can still be my friend. Says Random Orca 1808, you, bye y'all, Random Orca 1808 has gone offline, says Confeticum, you, oh no, says Shadow Cloud 2321, you, bye. Says Shadow Cloud 2321, you. Yells no. Myth 2017 wants you to join their party. Open the party menu to accept. Says Axolotl Cinema I wish I had. You. Says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus, here's but block out noises. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. You. Don't please? Says Myth 2017. You. Wanna play MM? Says Axolotl Cinema Block Party. Says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus, I have to shadow. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. You. Looks at her. Says TKM Sprint 116. You. Volvi. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. You. Why? Says Confeticum. Says XT0 Nair. You. MB. I was playing Dr. Snow. Says Eclipse E. You. Hi GHXST. Says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus, it's the only way a bond will break. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. You. Peak RP. Says XT0 Nair. You. Acadethran. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. You. I don't care about the bond. Says XT0 Nair. You. Oh. Says XT0 Nair. You. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. You. You're friends with so many people. Says Eclipse E. You. I'm in a better mood trust. Says XT0 Nair. You. MK. Says Eclipse E. You. Now that the talent show is long over. Says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus, I know. Says Hortense Lotus 14. You. What? Says Shadow Cloud 2321. You. And I'll heal you anyway with the healing remides. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. You. Rip spelling. Comma found someone breaking the rules? Report them with report. Says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus, I healed the bond. Says Amarora 67 Cooker Snow likes you. Says Confeticum. You. And says Cooker Snow 42676. You. Says Eclipse E. You. She's my BSF duh. Says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus, bond are important to me. Says Cooker Snow 42676. You. Amara Iced. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. You. I am not seeing another grave get filled. Says Eclipse E. You. LOL. Says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus, I am sorry Shadow. Says HHDOT 146248 LOL. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. You. No. Says Confeticum. You. Says Amarora 67 what you like him you told me. Says XT0 Nair. You. Says Confeticum. You. Sarah please don't do this. Says Eclipse E. You. Already so dot. Says Hortense Lotus 14. You. Peace. Says Amarora 67 oh my baddie likes you. says Shadow Cloud 2321. You. Heals her again up. I am running out of healing stuff, says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus, the bond cracks fully between us, says Hortense Lotus 14. You. Oh no, says Eclipse E. You. Also she's 18 plus by the way, says Confeticum. You. Oh no, says Shadow Cloud 2321. You. Says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus, can't heal. Says Confeticum. You. Says Hortense Lotus 14. Says Shadow Cloud 2321. You. Walks away, says XT0 Nah. You. Cass said we're never like that even if you are angry by the way, says Eclipse E. You. Oh, says Confeticum. You. Shadow can we friend? Says Sarah 24 Berry. Plus, body slowly disappear, says Eclipse E. You. Well it's only like if I'm really angry TT. Sarah 24 Berry has gone offline. Says Confeticum. You. Follow our Instagram, at the HiveMook. Says XT0 Nah. You. She also thought you weren't actually angry. It was JS friend banter, says Confeticum. You. Says Eclipse E. You.